All right, today we are going to change the rear and eventually front drive unit fluid on a 2021 Tesla Model Y long range. I've seen quite a few videos of folks doing it on Model 3s, but haven't seen a Model Y yet. So I'm gonna walk through this little by little. First step is I'm gonna put it up on these ramps that I got from Harbor Freight. Looks like the capacity is 3,250 each, so 6,500 pounds total. I believe, I can't remember, but I think the Model Y weighs like 4,500 pounds, somewhere around there, 4,400 pounds. So plenty of capacity for them. And then I have a floor jack and some jack stands I'll put in under there to be safe as well. But I basically just took my electric wrench and pulled out, what is there, 11 of these 10mm bolts. And then there's two little plastic fasteners, what are they called, like plastic pop rivets near the tires that hold the underside cover in. And that's it. So once you do that, get it off, and you can come under here. Let me out zoom. You can see this a little better. So it's pretty dirty. No, this has never been exposed. Obviously the dirt's still getting under here. But you can see we got the pump right here. We got the fluid filter right here. And then we got the fill plug right here. So what we got here is an 8mm hex socket. And we're just gonna crack this loose. This is the fill plug up here. I gave it a little bit of a wipe down, but we're gonna need to really clean this up good. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna crack this just to make sure I can, for one, get it out, and for two, a whole bunch of fluid doesn't come pouring out, because Tesla's service said that you have to have the pump running the entire time you fill it, or the fluid will come out within 10 seconds. So I can see that's not the case. So and for the bolts for the pump, we're going to use an E12. That's an external torx bit size 12. So you're gonna have to pry on this a little bit, but the name of the game is being gentle. So as you see, I'm gonna use plastic for one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to back these bolts all the way out, and then I'm just going to put them in like a little, maybe turn or two. So I don't know how long they are. Alright, we'll remove this after all. You're better safe than sorry. You don't want to break something. And here comes the fluid, little by little. That's gonna be my guess. I've never done a drive unit on a Tesla before. I've done quite a few on gas vehicles. When I say drive unit, I've done quite a few transmissions, front differentials, rear differentials, transfer cases, all that. So kind of the same principle. Not rocket science. No pun intended, even though it's a Tesla. A little bit of dad jokes. Past the time. I've been working on this longer than I should have. Because I don't want to screw it up, right? So I'm taking my time. Last thing I want to do is break this vehicle. And have to take it to Tesla to fix it. Now we're draining. Give you a little bit better view, but now we're draining. Everything looks pretty good. Here's a new filter. Again, matching model number on the filter. Just to, I mean, they did update the filter, so it could be a little bit different model number and still fit, but I checked anyways just to make sure before I took it off. Because a local auto parts store don't carry these, so if I pulled this thing off and don't have a replacement, that would be bad. So anyways, dipped my finger into some fresh fluid, lubricated the gasket on that, and then now we'll put it right back on. So that whole surface is clean. And we're just gonna hand tighten this. You don't wanna use tools. Anybody who's ever changed oil knows this, but in case you haven't, you don't wanna use tools to ever tighten an oil filter. They are not meant to be that tight. You usually wanna, once the gasket makes contact, kinda wanna turn it maybe another quarter to half turn. You'll feel it. It'll just kind of snug itself up. Once you get it snug there, you're good to go. I'm kind of turning with about, I don't know, 75–80% of my strength. And it's tight. It's not going to move. So we got a new filter on there. Again, we'll do a quick inspection of this. Everything looks good on here. It's actually 3 O-rings. There's one on the very tip right there. I don't know if you can see that. And then there's another black one, so 2 black ones, and then their green one right there. They look great, which is good, because I don't want to replace them, because I don't have them. All right, give this a quick rub down, rubbing out. I'm just gonna then slide it right in there. A little bit of pressure. There we go. Might have to wiggle it a little bit. Get it exactly lined up. You'll feel it, where you don't feel resistance on the screws as you're trying to hand tighten them, or the bolts as you're trying to hand tighten them, I mean. And you know you're in the money. I'm not torquing this. I've been doing this long enough. It's just by feel. You obviously don't want to torque it down so tight that you crack the plastic housing here on the pump. You also don't want to have them loose, which is how it was when I got it. So what I'm going to do, just snug it up and see. I'm just barely pulling with my fingers here. Not putting a ton of torque on here. Just snugging them up nice and snug. And definitely snugger than where I found them, which they were pretty loose. Or I shouldn't say they, that one on the top was pretty loose to the point where I cracked it loose and didn't even realize it. All right, good. Good. That's not going anywhere. And last step. Now we're gonna fill it up. Well, I got Liqui Moly EV510. And you want just over 2 quarts to go in there. We're gonna see how much we can get in before we have to do the old pump actuating trick. All right. This new fluid is clear. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, it is clear. Need a little more than that. As I told you guys, I'm going to show you a trick here. And that trick is, I dust myself off here. I'm going to go in here. We're going to navigate. To the closest supercharger. And that's going to run the pump. Jump right back under you. You can hear everything kind of warming up, firing up. Run the pump a little bit. Just gonna do that for about a few more seconds. And now we're gonna shut it down. All right, now that we ran the pump just a bit for about 10-15 seconds, we're gonna go back to pumping some more fluid in there. My flashlight died, so I'm gonna do my best. Or should I say my auto light died? I'm gonna do my best to get a light in here. So long story short, what I did is I, since the tube wasn't long enough to suck up the whole 1.06 liters, which 2 of those is 2.12 liters. The service manual says anywhere from 2.1 to 2.3 liters to fill. So what I did is I put as much as I could out of 2, then combined what was left, cracked open a third one, put some in there, and then took the one that was from the other combinations, poured them into the third one, kind of eyeballed it, seeing how far I was. So right now I'm at about 2.3 liters. So I filled it up to max capacity, and now we're going to seal it up and put it back together. All right. So what I did is I hand tightened the fill plug. Usually when you do some type of differential drain and fill, you'll use like a thread sealant on it. But of course Tesla, in their wisdom, because they are such a great car company, actually put an O-ring on there, unlike any other, at least American manufactured vehicles I've worked on lately. So no thread sealant needed. As a matter of fact, it can probably interfere with the O-rings performance. So then what we're going to do again is just lightly tighten this. We don't want to strip anything out. We don't want to damage the casing. We're just snugging it up. And you know, when you take it off, you can notice how tight it is or isn't. Again, there's not a whole lot of torque on them. I'd hate to say it, but some of these things were under torqued. You can just tell by how loose they were, but we're just going to snug it up. And that's all it takes. It's good to go. Now, all we got to do is throw the, well, we actually got to put this back on, and then just got to throw the shield back on there. Make sure to push that red tab back on and lock it. Give it just a little wiggle, make sure it's on there tight. And that's it. We're gonna reassemble the shield and take it for a test drive. All right, moment of truth. Test drive. Running good, 108,000 miles. No abnormal sounds, sounds great. So it is a success.